everybody, so today I'm reviewing Blair Witch. Is it the third movie or is it the second movie? Because this film pretty much forgets Book of Shadows, but in countries like Germany, this is called The Blair Witch Project 3. So I'm someone that's very excited for this because I've always loved Adam Wingard's films. I loved The Guest, I loved Your Next, and Simon Barrett is also the writer on those, and he's also the writer on this, and I also really liked their shorts in VHS. So I had a lot of hope for this. I had a lot of hope that Adam Wingard was going to bring something new to the Blair Witch franchise and something fresh and make it different. And I had a lot of hope. I was very excited when I saw all the reviews coming out. When this was first announced, it was called The Woods, and when it was called The Woods, when I first saw that trailer, I was really excited because I saw Adam Wingard was attached to it. And then all these comments were happening on the Woods trailer. Hey, is this Blair Witch? This has to be Blair Witch. And then 2 weeks later, it was, hey guys, yep, it's Blair Witch. And everyone was like, yeah, we called it. We knew it was going to be Blair Witch. I felt like that was marketing really pushing it, because when you look at the Woods trailer and the Blair Witch trailer next to each other, they look like very different movies. The Woods trailer has all these really nice like drone shots of going over lakes and stuff, and like the Shining shot going over the woods, and it had all those shots. And then it comes to the Blair Witch trailer, and Blair Witch trailer was just full of jump scares, and the Woods trailer didn't have any jump scares. It had this different version of the Police, Every Breath You Take. It had a different version of that song, like a creepy version of it, and even Blair Witch trailer had a snippet of that song at the end. So they looked like very different movies, and I sort of wish The Woods had just been released, but it's obvious that this was advertising being pushed. But for me, Blair Witch feels like Adam Wingard was just really forced with studios to make this movie, to just push all these Blair Witch things in with all the stick figures and the house and all this sort of stuff. I had a lot of hope for this, and I was very, very excited for it. Like, when I knew I was going to be seeing it, I was very excited for it. There was all these reviews, hey, this is a game changer for horror fans. For me, it's not a game changer. This will make your body ache with fear. One of the scariest experiences ever. Those were the sort of reviews, and for me, it's none of that. It has its moments, but it's nothing. There's nothing scary about it. I know there's a moment in this film where I know people will find it creepy. There's a certain element that people will sort of be scared by, and I know people, if they haven't seen many horror movies, they were scared by it. But for me, it just feels like a bigger budget Blair Witch, because they've got drones this time, and they've got cameras that they put on their ears that are all HD, and they look incredible. They've got GPS on them. Because when you look at the original Blair Witch, the Blair Witch Project, when I watched that as a kid, it did scare me, but then I watched it a couple of months back, and I feel like it's very dated now. It's still effective with its ending, but it's just very dated. And with this film, we have the whole message, these tapes were found in 2014. It's not believable anymore. And the thing that made the original film work is that a lot of the actors weren't told about certain things. That part where they're in the tent and they hear all the kid noises outside, and where they have to run through the woods, they weren't told about certain things, and that was what made it more natural. With this, it's just, there's so many jump scares in this movie that just really annoyed me. There's moments where like people just bump into each other and it's a jump scare, and there's like a moment where the people are calling out for their friend and he's not answering, the next minute he just jumps out of them, and it's just, I hate this fake jump scare bullshit. Like, there's so much of that in this movie, and it's a shame that they force all these fake jump scares into it, because I didn't really expect that from Adam Wingard. I expected something more original and not jump scares, and this feels like a very big studio movie. I like moments of it, but it just sort of halfway through was just like, I really don't like this. I had so much hope. There's nothing scary about it. It's not a horror game changer. I know there's people that are really hyping this movie. This has been hyped so much, and I wish I hadn't have got so excited, because I was just really let down. I was watching it, I was like, yeah, it's going to get better, things are going to get better, and it just sort of just let me down a lot. It's just, I don't think this should have been made. I think that it feels like a pointless sequel in many ways. It just, like I said, it feels like a bigger budget Blair Witch, and there's many same things happening. There's something added that wasn't in the original Blair Witch, and yes, it's a sequel of the guy searching for, he's meant to be the brother of Heather from the first film, so he's searching for her in the woods after seeing a videotape. There's a bit of a mind fuck in this movie, which I was sort of like, I don't quite understand that, but it's like, it's something interesting when I sort of didn't understand it when I saw the film, and I was like, whoa, that's sort of interesting, and then I went away from it, and I was sort of like, okay, it's interesting, and then you figure out things, what the fuck, it just sort of doesn't make sense, but it makes sense at the same time. It's a bit confusing, but Blair Witch only gets a 2 out of 5 from me. There's something that annoys me with this movie, and my girlfriend just kept being like, look, it's a movie, like, they have to do these things. If they didn't do it, then it wouldn't be the same. This is meant to be tapes that have been found but there's a moment where you can hear someone's heartbeat, and there's a moment where little like noises are added and stuff, and I'm just like, if it's meant to be tapes that are found, why can you hear someone's heartbeat? I know it's meant to be for effect of the movie, but I just hate that found footage movies do this thing where they add like music or vibrating noises or just this weird noises to make it more effective. But if it's found tapes, why are you hearing someone's heartbeat? So Blair Witch, 2 out of 5 from me. I had a lot of hope for this, but it's just full of fake jump scares, generic jump scares, and everyone is really unlikable. Like, there's this guy's searching for his sister, but you don't care what happens to these people in the woods. It's like you haven't had enough development to like them, and one of them's really horrible to these 2 people, so you don't really have anything to sort of be like, hey, I'm worried what's going to happen to these people in this woods. There's no worry. There's nothing. There's no development or anything. And with the original, you sort of you didn't have the biggest amount of development, but sort of as you got to know them more when they were joking about stuff, you sort of were sort of scared for them. I remember watching this as a kid, like on VHS, and when I first saw it, like the internet wasn't the biggest thing when I was first watching it, and I was sort of like, hey, this could be real, whatever. And then a couple of years later, I look up at it, and it's not real. But when I first watched it as a kid, I believed it to sort of be real. But with this, there's nothing sort of believable about it. But because it's high quality, just a bigger budget. Yeah, Blair Witch. If you've seen Blair Witch, send the comments down below if you enjoyed it. What's your favourite found footage movie? I'm for review 2 found footage movies now. Found footage 3D. It's just when looking at this movie, I just get remembered a found footage 3D, and it's weird. It's weird, but because it's like you look at all the things that found footage 3D talked about, and you look at this movie and you're like, yep, found footage 3D talked about this. It's probably the best found footage movie I've seen in a long time. Like found footage 3D. If you haven't seen it, then I hope you get a chance to watch it. It needs to get released. But Blair Witch, I wasn't a fan. If you're a fan, send the comments down below and stuff, and let's talk about Blair Witch. Thank you very much. See you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.